We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Spy balloons, the economy, Omar held accountable, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. China has announced its government is looking into reports that a suspected Chinese spy balloon was discovered flying in U.S. airspace over Montana, in an area that houses U.S. intercontinental ballistic missiles. The Chinese government claims it is a weather balloon that drifted off course. They stated, China is a responsible country and has always strictly abided by international laws, and China has no intention to violate the territory and airspace of any foreign countries, said Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning during a daily briefing on Friday. She also urged U.S. officials and Chinese authorities to proceed calmly and carefully amid the investigation. U.S. officials are looking into how to shoot the balloon down without danger to people on the ground. The balloon is holding heavy equipment and is approximately the size of 3 buses. The House of Representatives ousted Ilhan Omar, the Democrat from Minnesota, a progressive Democrat from the Foreign Affairs Committee, in a party line vote. Republicans have accused Omar, one of the first 2 Muslim women in Congress, of making anti-Israel and anti-Semitic remarks. Words matter. Rhetoric matters, said committee member Michael Lawler, the Republican from New York. Omar faced a backlash in 2019 for saying U.S. political support for Israel was all about the Benjamins. She has continued to make anti-Semitic comments and also tried to deflect responsibility for the 9/11 attacks from Muslim terrorists. Members of the squad reacted hysterically on the House floor with tears, shouting, and unfounded accusations. The Biden administration agreed to send Ukraine longer-range bombs as Kiev prepares for an expected spring offensive to take back territory occupied by Russian forces. U.S. officials confirmed that the weapons would have twice the range of any weapon the U.S. has sent Ukraine so far. The ground-launched, small-diameter bombs will be included in a $2.2 billion aid package expected to be announced Friday, according to the Associated Press, citing several U.S. officials. The longer-range bombs are the latest advanced systems the U.S. has agreed to send as Western allies answer Ukraine's calls for more powerful weapons. The U.S. has agreed to send Abrams tanks and the Patriot missile defense system, but rejected Kiev's request for fighter jets. U.S. hiring roared back to life in January as the labor market remained surprisingly resilient in the face of higher interest rates, scorching hot inflation, and mounting recession fears. Employers added 517,000 jobs in January, the Labor Department said in its monthly payroll report, easily topping the 185,000 jobs forecast by economists. It marked the best month for job creation since July. The unemployment rate, meanwhile, unexpectedly dropped to 3.4%, the lowest level since 1969. The surprisingly strong across-the-board January employment report shows the labor demand remains too hot for the economy's own good and will embolden the Fed to raise rates more, not less, said Kathy Bojanic, the chief economist at Nationwide. Despite the growth in jobs, Apple, Amazon, Ford, Starbucks, and Google parent Alphabet all announced year-end earnings that confirmed expectations of a slowing economy. Google saw its first advertising revenue decline since the start of the coronavirus pandemic. Alphabet and Amazon both reported slowing growth. Apple reported fourth quarter revenue that was 5% below the same period a year earlier, its first such drop in several years. The CEOs of Amazon and Alphabet, which were among tech giants that have announced layoffs, said they need to continue cutting costs. Attorneys for Hunter Biden, President Biden's son, are calling for state and federal authorities to investigate the release of contents from a laptop he left at a computer repair shop. The lawyers said shop owner Mac Isaac and conservative political operatives, including Rudy Giuliani, who served as a lawyer for former President Donald Trump, committed criminal violations when they tried to weaponize files from the laptop to hurt President Biden. Hunter Biden's attorney, Abe Lowell, wrote in a letter to federal officials and Delaware's attorney general that Isaac recklessly exposed Hunter Biden's private data as part of a failed, dirty political trick. The letter amounted to the younger Biden's first public acknowledgement that the laptop contained his personal data. That's the raw naked truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.